what was she left with? Raw, unbroken bonds that were never going to fix themselves. And the reality of the story is no conditioning treatment, no hair extensions because they would have broken off, were going to stay in her head. This woman's only option was to wear a wig for 2 years. For 2 years, she had to wear a wig because that hair was it just kept breaking off. So the moral of the story is, now this girl who's ruined probably a business, a person's career and livelihood, self-confidence, God only knows what else, right? Is now being sought out by celebrity stylists that flew her out to give her a full-blown transformation. Hi, I'm Jennifer Janish, owner of Adored Salon and Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions. I'm obsessed with curly hair. I cut it, style it, and extend it, and this podcast is all about my curly girl obsessions that stretch far beyond just curly hair. Hey there, it's me, Jennifer, from the Curly Girls Obsessions, which you are either watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But I am here today coming to you from my bathroom in its entirety, real, raw, no makeup on. I will be doing that as I talk to you because this week has been crazy. I worked all last week. I had a client fly me to them over the weekend to do their curly adored hair extensions and color her daughter's hair. And then I started working this week on Monday with an extension client who wanted her extensions in before her brother's wedding. She was brand new and she paid extra for me to do her hair on my day off. And then Tuesday I worked because Jackie is on vacation and we never just want to leave one person alone in the salon. So me and Mia have been working like a team and like crazy this week with extensions. So here I am in my bathroom taking this opportunity while I'm getting ready to discuss this crazy subject, which is happening all over TikTok. And if you hashtag Permgate, you will see what I am talking about today. This is such an interesting topic from a hair salon owner perspective, hairstylist perspective, and just the bird's eye view on the outside looking into all this chaos. So if you don't know what this is, there is a girl on TikTok who wanted her hair permed because she's an aspiring artist and supposedly saved all this money to get her hair permed, $200, and got it permed and her hair melted off of her head. Interesting, right? She comes on TikTok, she's crying about it. Her hair is noticeably trashed. And she ends up with all of this social media attention that she gets as she names the salon. She shows pictures of the salon. She shows pictures of the hairstylist who did the perm. And then in turn, social media does exactly what it likes to do. And it's, honest to God, I feel like these deep dives into this drama are just insane. And the reason why I'm on here today talking about this is because I feel like this whole situation was almost, I hate to say this, but planned from the get-go, right? Like whatever it is that went down in this salon with this poor hairstylist, who, by the way, is brand new, and this perm, supposedly this client, as she told all of social media, that she did not have lightener on her hair for 10 years. She used a specific box dye that did not contain henna. Yeah, right? And here this hair is fried beyond belief, supposedly because whatever this hairstylist did to her with this perm. And here's the thing. First of all, every new hairstylist has their moment. Has their moment of regret for providing a service that should have never been done. Let me take you down my road of memory lane. And I have two services in my life that okay, let's even backtrack further, right? So I've been a hairstylist now for 34 years, in the industry with hair school for 36 years. And when I started doing hair, there was no telling a client that they could not get a hair service. And no hair salon owner at that time was going to allow you to say no to a service either. Just kind of was like the way things rolled. And to be totally transparent, perms were the thing when I started. Spiral perms, people were getting them by the boatload. I absolutely hated doing them. It never failed. I always had one perm rod in the very front, be totally straight, and then this client would come in and want, of course, that hair to be curly. And then you try and spot perm this, and lo and behold, the solution would roll onto other hair, straighten that hair, like here, all the things, right? It never was to my benefit. So lo and behold, a salon client calls. I knew exactly, I was in the salon at this point, I want to say probably like 2 years. And I witnessed her getting her hair done. And she was a very sweet person. So the stylist who did her hair put high lift color on her root and then highlighted her hair with lightener and 20 volume, right? Like, let's just say 20 volume. So most people don't know this, but they think that using high lift color is saving their hair from lightener because it's actually just color. Truth be told, high lift color's alkalinity lives around 14, which is the highest level of alkalinity on the pH scale. Lightener lives between 12 and 13, I believe. Interestingly, right? And then this formula was put underneath heat lamps to intensify it even more. So we're just going to call this person Sally. So I am at the desk on a Saturday morning, and I just had a cancellation for a full foil and a haircut style. At that time, how we booked as a stylist was an hour. So from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., full foil, skip a half an hour for processing time. We didn't even do toners then. And then another half an hour for a haircut and a full blowout. And that was it. Like, there was no messing with this time either. Like, you were told that you had to get this shit done in that amount of time, and that was that. There was no questioning it, nothing. Nobody was taking longer than that. You had to figure it out. Nobody was holding your hand to say, okay, yeah, 4-hour foil. Nope, didn't exist. And I believe that that's because the salon owners were like, these chairs have to produce X amount of money in X amount of time. And everybody's going to be booked, and that's just the way it's going to be. This is how it's going to roll. So I had this cancellation, and the phone rings, and it's Sally. And she's like, hi, Jennifer, it's Sally, and I want my hair permed. I'm going to go out of town to Florida. I'm going to be swimming. I want to be able to get out of the pool and just let my hair air dry. Okay. Newsflash, as a curly girl, I know that this is not possible, period. As a curly girl, I remember having dreams of being Ariel when I would come out of the water, and within 3 seconds, I was Merida. Like, there was no, like, smoothed out, perfect hair, and when my hair was curling back up from the weight of the water falling off, it looked like shit. It was horrible. So I'm like, Sally, that's impossible. First of all, getting out of the water with curly hair, you're not going to get the result that you want. Second of all, I know what is on your hair, and I'm going to tell you this. It is not going to be in your favor to get a perm. I was going against the grain just having this conversation with her on the phone, but I was like, hell no, this person is not going to get on this cancellation of mine and get this perm. I'm not doing it. She's like, nope, please tell my hairstylist to call me back because I know what I want and I'm going to get it before I go to Florida. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so hairstylist calls her back. They have a conversation. I'm not up there. I'm trying to avoid this like the plague. Truth be told, I'm trying to manifest her way just right out of my life so that I am not going to be responsible for this drama. Gets off the phone, walks away from the desk. At this time, we still had paper and pencil to schedule appointments. I go up there. She's on my book, right? I'm like, I go straight over to the stylist. I'm like, this is really not a good idea. I know that that hair is going to break off and I really don't want to be responsible for it. It'll be fine. Don't worry. I will stand there right with you and I will help you through this. I'll check the test curl with you. Oh my gosh. I'm having heart failure. I probably was in the bathroom 3 times before this girl got there because my stomach was such a mess. So client comes in and she's like, I know that you don't want to do this, but everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, and hell no, it's not going to be fine. But okay. So we start rolling this perm. And she had a pretty thick head of hair too, by the way, for everything that she had done. But her hair was short. So, you know, it was like 2 to 3 inches long. And it had this color on it. So I'm like, whatever. I start rolling it, put the solution on. 5 minutes, we check it. I want to take it off. We leave it on another 3 minutes. And we were using a perm solution meant for bleached hair. I don't even remember what it's called at that time. Like what the name of this brand was doesn't even matter because any brand would have fried off her freaking hair. So, get to the shampoo bowl. Now it's time to rinse. Moment of truth. If you've ever heard of the term pocket curls, because they talk about that in hair school, definitely happened to me in this very moment. I almost threw up. I get to the shampoo bowl to rinse her hair, and as I'm rinsing it, perm rods are falling out of her head with her hair in it. Never believed it could actually happen. It happened. Now I'm really crapping, right? Like, because there's no going back from this. It was like 3 rods that fell out like that. So here I am, and I then get the neutralizer. I put the neutralizer on this hair, and I walk over to show the other hairstylist these perm rods, and she's like, well, did you wrap it too tight? No, I did not wrap it too tight because tension matters with whatever, you know, if you use an acid perm or an alkaline perm, there's a tension thing. And I'm like, no, I wrapped it normally. And I believe I said that this was going to happen. We get done with the neutralizer and now I got to dry this mess, right? And it's just swelling. It's so porous. It's not letting go of any of the water. Like it looks like a afro that, I shouldn't even say afro. It just looks like a hot ass mess, like a Brillo pad, because there was no curl. There was just kink at the base, and then her ends were swollen, fried out, bleach, straight hair. Terrible, right? Then I take a round brush to it because I'm panicking. Like, how am I going to make her hair look smooth? Well, you can't. Then I take the curling iron to it to try and smooth it, right? And everybody in this freaking salon is staring at me at this point because honestly, her hair looked horrendous. Now, you might be sitting there asking like, oh my God, like I would have rather got fired than do this. You have to remember the time. And you have to remember the fact that this just was. And honestly, people then did get perms to fry the shit out of their hair. So their weekly blowout lasted. It was just insanity, right? If you're a baby stylist now, start to thank the gods that the hair industry has changed in a way that allows you to say no to services and actually has the client's better interest at heart than the salon owners who are always worried about making a buck. So, right, we get it done. She leaves. I'm sick to my stomach, crying, like it's a mess. I leave to go visit my husband, who was my then boyfriend, who was at school in Iowa. I cry the whole drive there. I'm there. The weekend's ruined. I come home, not even home 30 minutes. I get a phone call from the other stylist, and she's like, Jen, you need to meet me at the salon tomorrow because Sally is complaining that her hair is breaking off and falling out, and now we're going to have to deep condition this, and it's your fault. Okay, no, it's not my fault because I was the only one who told her that she shouldn't be doing this. I didn't want to perform the service when it was on my books, right? And the reason I'm telling you this is like, if you have seen this drama unfold on TikTok and this poor stylist whose life is literally ruined from this post, right? You could say like, oh, she could be stronger and she could do this. No, people literally went and wrote obscene Google reviews on this salon's Google page and attacked the salon and this stylist. It was something like over 200 reviews were written by people who were outraged, who had no part in this, right? And so I tell you this because we have no idea the background story here. And by the way, the hairstylist that felt sorry for this hairstylist who was brand new went and did the deep dive into this girl's social media on every possible social media platform that she was on. And what did they uncover? They uncovered that she, of course, did have highlights back in the day, as recent as 2024. And you're sitting there thinking, well, that was 2 years ago. Guess what? Your hair 2 years ago is, a good 6 inches of outgrowth, and this girl had really long hair. So that lightener is still there, even though her hair was black and colored black with really and truly God only knows what, right? So they did the uncovering, they did the deep dive. Meanwhile, celebrity hairstylists are reaching out to her, trying to gain notoriety from fixing her hair and reaching out saying that they can help her. Here's the thing, back to Sally. I go in the next day and she's like, Jennifer, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I'm the one who permed your hair, so they told me that I had to come in. She looked me dead in the face and she said, first of all, I am taking full ownership for this because I demanded it. Second of all, you were the only person who told me not to do this. She's like, I'm not holding you responsible one bit. Instantly, I felt the weight of the world lifted off of my shoulders, right? But the truth of the matter is, no matter how much conditioning we did to her hair, it wasn't saving it. And that is because a perm breaks down every possible bond within your hair and then neutralizes it with a neutralizer to reform your curl pattern. It was so freaking blasted out and porous from the perm and the coloring that she did that the neutralizer never was going to accept into that hair strand because there was no cuticle left. It went in and rinsed right out, right? So what was she left with? Raw, unbroken bonds that were never going to fix themselves. And the reality of the story is no conditioning treatment, no hair extensions because they would have broken off, were going to stay in her head. This woman's only option was to wear a wig for 2 years. For 2 years, she had to wear a wig because that hair was it just kept breaking off. So the moral of the story is Now this girl who's ruined probably a business, a person's career and livelihood, self-confidence, God only knows what else, right? Is now being sought out by celebrity stylists that flew her out to give her a full-blown transformation. And they cut off about a good 12 inches of her hair, which, by the way, from her roots to that leftover 6 inches, she still has that perm. That hair is still shitty, fragile, and broken. And then they color it with a gloss, and then they put K-tips in there, and they blow it out. They cut it again to blend the K-tips. Her hair looks amazing. Guess what? Until she freaking washes it, and those K-tips are gonna swirl and dreadlock around each other because her natural hair knows nothing more than just to do that. So the celebrity stylist who gained followers from doing this girl's hair, now, God help you if she does not go onto social media when she washes her hair at home and cannot smooth it out to make it look as good as you did, and these K-tips start falling out or breaking off or dreadlocking. It's going to be trouble. The whole freaking thing is trouble. The whole situation. Shame on the people who jumped on her bandwagon and slammed this salon even harder. Shame on those people, because what they did to someone's life is so obscene. And shame on this girl for lying to the hairstylist about what really was on her hair from previous, because that caused the problem. She is the root of the problem, and she is keeping that problem going. And honestly, I know I'm kind of also in that boat because here I am talking about it, but I just felt like this was such a hot topic. I felt like it was almost like Hair by Chrissy 4K hair that I did the deep dive on too, and gave my 2 cents as a hairstylist, hair extension artist, and just a person from the outside looking in and seeing what the power of social media can do to an unsuspecting person in the wrong hands. And that girl that got the perm lied, and then she brought it to social media, her problems. It ruined lives, it ruined a business, and now she's getting exactly what she wanted, fame and notoriety. And let's hope she can style her hair just as good as those celebrity stylists did, because everybody's going to be watching her now and what she's doing with that probably anywhere in the ballpark of $4,000 to $6,000 hair she now has on her head and probably was gifted for free. So that's the tea on Permgate and the salon industry right now, and TikTok as social media. Had to give my 2 cents. If you found this to be helpful, send it to a friend who might need to hear it. If you are an aspiring artist and you are worried about screwing up someone's hair, let me be the first to tell you that it does happen to all of us. And hopefully it's not that big. Hopefully it's just a bleeder foil that can be taken care of easily in the back room, because that's a big one. The next podcast, maybe I'll tell you about my lightning debacle on my very best friend who was Italian, dark jet black hair, olive skin, and wanted to look like Gwen Stefani. Yeah, I actually did that because it happened at the same salon 3 days after I started working behind the chair. As crazy as that sounds, it again was a massive learning lesson for me that pushed me forward so far that I learned a lot from it. And yeah, we'll leave it at that because it'll come. I will be discussing that in the future, and I want you to come back for it. So thanks for tuning into the Curly Girls Obsessions. I'll see you next week or on social media. On TikTok, it's the Curly Girls Obsessions. On Instagram, it's Jennifer_Johnson_Janish or Adored Salon, or all the different platforms that you can find me on, or just here. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.